This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Puss in Boots, one of the best animated films of recent years, tackling themes of mortality, acceptance, individuality, and quite a lot of other stuff. But if we change the perspective from the pussycat Puss, but instead focus on, no, not Big Jack Horner, because let's face it, he is just pure evil, but actually on the ethical bug himself, legally distinct Jiminy cricket that will henceforth be known as Jiminy. And then it becomes a story about trying your absolute best to convince the literal incarnation of evil to do something good. So imagine for a minute that you are Jiminy, a knockoff version of the bug from Pinocchio. But even though you might be the Temu equivalent of him, just like I am the Temu equivalent of Mugiwara no Goofy, that doesn't stop you from doing your job.
I judge you. I sit on your shoulder and judge your actions and the quality of your character.
Imagine you're surprised then when you've been trapped in a magical object for an indeterminate amount of time, only to be unleashed onto the world by a guy asking you to defoliate some magical roses because he thinks you're a locust. I mean, doesn't he know the distinction between a locust and a grasshopper? I mean, does it look like you're swarming right now? No. Ergo, not a locust. Right? Well, I'm sure if you have any questions, the people in the comments will probably give you a better answer. That being said, you introduce yourself, and today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Thank you, Surfshark, for keeping the lights on so we can keep on pretending that we're villains for 20 minutes. We don't all have ethical bugs sitting on our shoulders, guiding us and imparting us with their benevolence. No, most of us are just out here using the internet without any protection, as the French would say, sans préservatif, a place where unscrupulous people lurk, waiting to steal your stuff and ruin your life. Some of them are basically Big Jack Horner trying to shove their thumb into your pie. And that's not the good kind of pie. And that's actually what Surfshark VPN does. It hides your data behind layers of magical techno bullshit, so online threats just take a nibble and leave you alone. Using state-of-the-art encryption, yada yada yada. Honestly, at this point, if you don't know what VPN does, I don't know whether to be really impressed or deeply concerned. Wherever you go, you'll be safe. Public Wi-Fi, you're safe. Dodgy beach Wi-Fi. No more raw dogging it in the sand for you. But actually, there is more. And if you're anything like me and live in a foreign country, or even travel to a foreign country and no fellow idioma muito bem, you can change your location to anywhere in the world and get all the creature comforts that you need. It's really handy and actually makes a big difference. And honestly, I don't really use a VPN up until this point, and thank you, Surfshark, for the VPN. I'm saved. And I mean, you know, it's kind of risk-free because even if you use Surfshark and realize that deep down you're a bit of a raw dogging aficionado, well, you can go back to living on the edge, and lucky for you, Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So please, go to surfshark.com/Domsy, or if you're lazy like me, go to the link in the description, and you can get an extra 4 months of Surfshark for free. And you can feel safe that your questionable internet habits are secure. But then you come to your senses just after you've done your introductions, realize that there is absolute carnage happening around you. There are guys calling for help desperately. This guy who just pulled you out of your magical object thing is like their leader or something. And he's doing nothing? Okay, sure, bit concerning, but you're gonna roll with this. It seems like he might be a bit difficult. And so you try to reason with him.
Now, Jack is your conscience. Oh my word, it's the noble phoenix.
And he whips out the literal phoenix from his magic bag and uses it as a flamethrower. And at this point, you kind of realize there's going to be like a battle of wills between the two of you. And you're going to need to redeem this man. This is going to be your life's work. You're going to show him the value of life, the sanctity of this universe, and make it so that he doesn't kill everyone. And hopefully show him what it means to be a true leader.
Be near where I'm flame-throwing!
Oh, so this guy literally does not take accountability for anything that he does. Like, truly, he is not afraid to kill his own people for the sake of killing his own people. Even if that means that, you know, moving forward is going to be a bit difficult because, you know, manpower makes things easier. And he's like, no, fuck that. Just kill him. He is the embodiment of short-term strategy based around immediate convenience rather than acknowledge risks and future considerations. So you follow this guy. I mean, that's your job, right? Your job is to tell people they can't do this stuff, honestly. And he finds this dog in a bush, this sweet, innocent little puppy that's wearing a sock. Okay. super cute, like seriously adorable. But then he rips it by the scruff of the neck and oh my god. And anyway, all of his men jump down, and apparently they're all back alive. Like, what? Is that why he didn't care? Oh, his men are immortal. Of course, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But then, he whips out a unicorn crossbow? Ooh, the implications there. Like, he's been going around hunting unicorns for their horns?
We'll see what the unicorn horn really does.
You thought it was going to be some wholesome Disney story about a puppet becoming a real boy. But no, this is DreamWorks. And you are playing Donkey when Shrek is an actual psychopath. But then more things show up, and what is happening? Like, you've been out of the bottle for about like maybe an hour, and you've just been forced into a situation where people were dying left and right. And this Jack guy, he said something about the wish, like the wishing star wish. Oh my god, this is the Dark Forest, isn't it? Oh my god, this idiot's in the Dark Forest. Well, that was outside of your realm of comprehension because you didn't think that people would be that stupid. But here you are, surrounded by like 20 arguably magical creatures. You've got 13 supposedly immortal people, this Jack guy, a few bears, a blonde girl, and 2 cats and a dog. What is going on? Why are these people so stupid? But anyway, you can convince them to not do this because you are Jiminy. You are the conscience of this world. You need to tell them that this is a fruitless and idiotic endeavor. Obviously, you can't tell them straight up it's idiotic because your objective is to always be objective, because morality is an objective truth.
What? So that's what they do. Cool.
No, not cool.
This Jack guy is not normal. Maybe. For a psychopath, he's normal. Like, this is psychopath normal right here. But then the blonde girl gets the map and everything changes. The rocks start floating everywhere, and all of a sudden, everyone is conveniently put into separate groups, and you are still stuck with the actual psychopath. It's annoying, but this is your job. The other guys, they didn't seem so insane, but this Jack guy, he really deserves your attention.
Do I wait for the cats to steal the map and then kill them? Or do I just kill everybody all at once?
You know, I'm starting to think you don't appreciate the value of a life.
What? No. I mean, I love these guys. Flex the glutes. I need a solid serve.
Why is he asking your opinion? He clearly doesn't care about anything you have to say. He just has an insatiable bloodlust that doesn't look like it has a cure. But you figure, maybe there is a sliver of humanity in this husk of a man.
No people. There's good no people.
Like, he literally just walked over his men. It's amazing that he can find men to demonstrate such loyalty to him, and they let him use them as a bridge. And yes, it turns out the unicorn horns do actually kill the baker's dozen. And now he's like down to like 4 guys or something.
You know, I never had much as a kid. Just loving parents, stability in a mansion, and a thriving baked goods enterprise for me to inherit. Useless crap like that.
Oh, so he had the perfect life, and he's just straight up evil. How is that real? Buddy, you've seen Disney villains before. Hell, you've even seen DreamWorks villains, and they all have tragic backstories. You know, Frollo got raised in a hell church. Scar was a family disappointment. Even Syndrome had childhood trauma. But Jack just sucks, man. But then he says something that gives you pause.
I'll finally have the one thing that will make me happy.
And for a moment, a brief, fleeting moment, you have overwhelming elation prickle at the back of your mind. Maybe, just maybe, he's not completely terrible. Maybe there is a human in there.
Magic in the world. For me, no one else gets any. Is that so much?
Yes!
Agree to disagree.
Oh my god. And I mean, at that point you realize, well, there is no reasoning with this man. There is no redeeming him. He is actually just horrible. But to really emphasize that point, he brings his cart over, and the last of his remaining workers is left crying for help on the side of a cliff. And he makes a joke about it.
Well, you know what they say. Can't bake a pie without losing a dozen men.
So you let him have it. You unleash all of the fury that was inside of you all this time.
That was horrible. Your wish is horrible. You're horrible.
Wrong, idiot.
And with that, you're gone, and honestly, you don't know whether to be grateful or downright upset by the whole thing. And I mean, if this guy does get the wish, well, then the Earth is almost certainly doomed. So you feel dejected. You lost. You completely failed. You were powerless in front of pure evil. So why does a conscience exist? Why do we have morality? Why do we do what is right? If someone is so evil, they can do all of these things to these other people, still have their loyalty to the point that they kill themselves, and they just get away with it. What is the point? At first, you just thought it was some capitalist with little or few morals. But no, this man really isn't in it for the money. He just wants to be the most powerful person in the world. He's like a billionaire that already has all of the wealth and still wants to be a menace to the rest of society.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And along the way, you actually find the Phoenix munching on some fruit. And that kind of inspires you. By finding this Phoenix, you realize that you can do what needs to be done. You need to rise from the ashes of your own defeat, come back anew, ready to fight the most evil thing that you've ever experienced in this world. Because even if you do something to prevent him from getting his wish, no matter how small, you still did it. You still were involved. And you come to the rest of the idiots. But you see that they all get into a bit of a scuffle, and so much stuff happens again, and you don't really want to get involved. You need to wait for your moment to strike. Jack gets out his staff and blasts his own worker, and like literally at that point, you determine that the only time the baker's dozen actually dies is when Jack kills them himself. And you question, how does he not see the problem with that? But then he doesn't really see the problem with anything. Is it arrogance? Is it stupidity? Like, why are his plans all so stupid?
No!
Thankfully, one of the cats that trap him in his bag of magic. And you can just like take a breath because it's over now. You will tell tales of their valor, sing stories of their majesty, because they deserve it, honestly. They saved the world and they didn't even know it. Just as the orange cat is about to make its wish, he ends up in a sword fight with a dog that whistles a really haunting tune, and holy crap, okay. Oh my god. But it seems like during the fight, the cat came to some epiphany and the dog leaves him alone. Okay, fine. It's like every single one of these creatures are having their own defining moment happening all at the same time. It's like all of the storylines are converging on this point. And the bear girl, well, she seems to accept the bears as her real family. And the cats and the dogs, well, they learn to love each other. That's all very sweet. And this is what you do your thing for. This is why you choose. This is what being human is all about. Wait, they're not even human, are they? Huh. But that magical moment is ruthlessly ripped away by a bigger Jack Horner, and he gets out of his bag and just grabs the wish. This is your moment, so you and the Phoenix get ready to charge in. The bug and the immortal Firebird coming to ruin his day. But then the small dog stops him, goes full on cute mode, okay.
They're such pools of vulnerability. It's so cute how you think that would work on me. Don't you know I'm dead inside?
Buying time for team friendship, oh my god. To stab him in the thumbs? Bro, ugh. And they tear up the map into little pieces, and it's all floating around. But you and the Phoenix, you managed to get the last little chunk, set it on fire, give Jack a metaphorical flipping of the bird, or in this case, a flipping of the Firebird, and Jack Horner just dies. Okay, so is that an ethical thing to do? Well, that is going to give you an existential crisis for a very long time. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please give it a like and comment. And thank you, Surfshark, for sponsoring the video. Don't forget to use my link in the description to get 4 months for free. I just want to shout out my members real quick, especially Jay. Thank you, Jay. And of course, Lavender, Yuri, and Alan. Thank you. Have a great day and have a great life.